Hey everybody, welcome to Thursday night edition of Nonno's Kitchen. This is like September in the NFL. You get a Thursday night edition every now and then. Tonight I'm gonna make fried boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We're gonna leave the side to surprise because I'm still figuring that out. So I've got about 10 boneless, skinless chicken thighs here, previously frozen. And in this container here, I don't have buttermilk. I'm using 1% milk that I've soured out with a little bit of lemon juice, some paprika, cayenne pepper, black pepper, salt. I think that's everything that's in there. We'll post the recipe after we cook. So this has to marinate for a couple of hours in the fridge before I fry it up, get it nice and juicy. So what I'm going to do is just take my mixture. If you want to use buttermilk, by all means, go ahead. But there's other ways that you can, other things you can do to sour out your milk, or if you want to have a similar texture. So again, as we always use in Nonno's Kitchen, here's the hand mixer. So you just want to make sure that this is all covered, and it's going to marinate in the fridge for 2 hours, and then I'll be back after this is marinated for a while, and we'll show you what we're going to do with this recipe and the sides are going to go with it. All right, so we're back. Got the chicken that's been marinating for a couple of hours in that mixture. What I have here is some all-purpose flour, salt, pepper. Calls for 4 cups. I use 2. I can always add more. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to dredge these in that. I'm going to put them on this baking sheet just to have them be out of the way. Get the oil nice and hot and start frying them up. So these are, again, these are boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I'm going to dredge them in here. Make sure you don't have any extra flour hanging off. You got to use flour. You want to have crisp. You know, you can use the tongs if you want. I'm not afraid of getting my hands dirty, but we want to press this in there to make sure we're getting the flour on there, but I also don't want to have so much on there that it's just kind of taken off, missed a spot here. So you just want to make sure you're dredging that in there. It's me. It's a crew of one here in Nonno's Kitchen. So I'm going to dredge these all up, get these on the baking sheet, and then once that's all done, we'll be back. So we have all these chicken thighs dredged, ready to go. What I want to note is that the recipe I'm using called for 4 cups of flour. I use 2. You'll note there's some in here. Can always add more, especially when you're dredging. This is what's left of the milk and whatnot that things were marinating in. So I'm gonna get the oil going, and I decided that the side I'm gonna make tonight is instant pot mac and cheese. Really easy, made it a few times. It's really creamy. I'll show you how I do that in just a minute, and then we'll do peas for a veg side, cleaning out whatever's in the freezer. So yeah, it's 80-some degrees here in Wisconsin. Doing some big rides coming up in the next couple weeks, so need to push some fuel in, and I had a hankering for fried chicken and mac and cheese, Southern style in the north. Okay, so for a side tonight, I'm gonna make Instant Pot mac and cheese. Really easy, 5 ingredients. So in the Instant Pot, I have a pound of elbow macaroni and a tablespoon of kosher salt and 4 cups of water. Stir this up. This is gonna cook for about 4 minutes. Now I haven't started cooking my chicken yet, and the reason why is because I can just let this sit on warm. And I have to cook the chicken in batches. So we're gonna get that going and cook this for 4 minutes. It takes about 15 minutes sometimes for this to, bring its way all the way up to temperature and get done. Once we're done cooking, once the Instant Pot done cooking, then I'll be back to show you what the next step is I do with the mac and cheese. In the meantime, right now, my oil is heating up so I can get those chicken thighs going. Those are going to cook about 7 to 8 minutes aside. Cooking the 165. I just cook until I feel like they're done. Not the best practice, I'm sure, but I've yet to get sick, and I'm 52 years old, so I'm going to keep going that way. So we'll show you some of that in just a minute. We'll be back. All right, so our oil's running about 375 or so. Took a piece of chicken just to see how it's boiling off. I will be using a fork on this. I'm not sticking my fingers in anywhere near 375-degree oil. I like them way too much, and it's just not safe. So I don't want to overload my pan. He's going to cook about, again, 7 to 8 minutes aside. The big old pieces of chicken thigh. You got to be careful how much you put in at a time, because you drop the temperature pretty good when you drop them in here. And if you overload, the problem you have with frying is that your temperature won't stay up. And if you don't want greasy chicken, you want to have really hot oil. So again, 7 to 8 minutes aside. We're going to take these. It's going to take about 3 batches to do this. This is my one of my camping cast irons I use. About 1 inch of oil in there, canola oil. We're going to set these off as they cook off on this baking sheet. They're going to go in a 200-degree oven to keep them hot. I just don't have, it's me. I'm going to eat all this food. So, got to keep things warm while we're cooking. So, I'll be back. Alright, so, a little warm. The egg noodles are all done. Not egg noodles, elbow noodles. So, we're just going to stir this up a little bit. To this, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. Calls for unsalted. I don't have any. In that goes. I'm going to add in 1/4 cup of water. I'm going to add in a can of evaporated milk. It's all going in there. I'm leaving this on keep warm for right now. And then 3 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. Calls for mild or medium. I like sharp. So it's a little hot. So we're going to stir this up. This is great. Easy to make. Kids love it. They really like the when you have the piece of the butter wrapper in there too. It's delicious and nutritious, extra fiber for the diet. So we're just going to stir this up. It will thicken as you mix it up. You may hear the chicken frying in the background. Probably need to pull a couple of those, otherwise I'm going to burn them. So we're going to just let this be. Going to keep it on warm and nice and creamy. And this is really super simple. My daughter, who's almost 20, loves this, and my granddaughter, who's 6, loves Nonno's mac and cheese. So, gotta go attend to the chicken. Be back. Okay, so the chicken's all finished off. There's grease everywhere. I am not known to be a clean cook. So be it. Little Dawn, we'll get that cleaned up. But there's our chicken thighs. Just put the last couple on that sheet. Gonna dig in. Enjoy this with the side of that Instant Pot mac and cheese and some peas. For those of you who don't like peas, find a different veg. If you don't like a veg, then just eat it without a veg. Really appreciate those of you who watch. I really enjoy doing this. And happy eating and happy cooking. Almost forgot to share what it looks like, that deliciousness on the plate there. A couple of fried chicken thighs, homemade mac and cheese, and some peas. Those aren't homemade. Those came from the freezer and got put into a pot and boiled. So, gonna dig in some comfort food on a mid-80-degree day or evening here in southeast Wisconsin. We'll see you next time.